Hi, I'm Christy from Grok Learning. Welcome to the NCSS Challenge 2018. The NCSS Challenge is a 5-week-long coding competition starting on July 30. We would teach the students to code as they go along, and we have courses appropriate for complete beginners all the way through to our more seasoned coders. Every week we release a set of notes and engaging problems for students to answer. The students submit these problems to our intelligent auto marker, which will provide intuitive feedback to help them get the problems right. This makes it easy for teachers who are using this course in their classroom activities. The Newbie stream is our course appropriate for complete beginners. What we found in previous years was we had students in upper primary school attempting this course, and sometimes they found the reading level and the pace a little bit too high for them. So we've reworked this course to make it more appropriate to students of this level. Newbies is taught in Blockly, which is a visual programming language, and we've made the reading level nice and simple so students in upper primary school can understand it. We've also aligned the content to the Year 5-6 Australian Curriculum Digital Technologies. We've reworked the slides as well to break the content down into easier chunks for students to understand. We're going to go through some sample slides now and a problem so you can get a feel for this course. So here we have the first day of slides for the Newbies course. So it's a little bit different to the way we've done it in the past. We've added some structure by breaking it down into these individual steps to make it a lot easier for the students to understand what they need to do. We're also adding some scaffolding by making it a lot easier for students to understand what they're doing when they program. So in this one, we're explaining the concept that they drag the block into the other block to create their very first program. So the very first slide they see, they're making their very own program, and they can run that code and it'll print out the message. So then they can see that from the very start, they can actually write programs. Now, for students with lower literacy levels, we've made this simpler for them by simplifying the language using simpler vocabulary and grammar. But we've also added this narrate option. So students can actually click narrate and it'll read out the text on the slides to them to make it even easier for them to understand. And then you can see later on, the next slide, we've got another option. And it explains a little bit more about what's going on with each of the different programs they can write. And we start to build it up and get a little bit more complicated with each slide. The other thing that we've introduced is that each problem is actually 2 problems. So we'll test the same concept, but twice, and the second time we test it, it'll be slightly more complicated. Okay, so this is the very first problem that students will deal with, and you can see it's asking them to write the exact same program that they did in the very first slide. The difference here is that we're introducing them to using the editor and how to actually run and submit their problem so it can get marks or points for the competition. So they need to drag the block into the print block like this, and they run it, and they can see the output down here. They're then told in step 2, they run the program, this button's up here, and then step 3, they mark and submit the program. And as you can see, it goes through everything that they tested to make sure they got the program right, and then it tells them, hurrah, you got everything right. Now the next problem is testing similar concepts. They have to drag the green blocks into the print blocks, and then it tells them to run it. But we've made this a little bit more complicated because we've introduced a spelling mistake. This is to help students understand they need to be very precise when they write a program. The computer is not going to correct spelling mistakes, typos, grammar, those sorts of things for them. They need to make sure they get it correct themselves. So we've told them there's a spelling mistake in the first line. If you have a look, you can see here it says wait a minute, wait a mint. So they need to go back up here and correct that first line themselves, run it again, and check this time that now it looks like the output. And if they think it's right, they can press mark and submit. And you can see that we got everything right. And again, there's a line at the end telling them that they did very well. We're really excited to see how your young beginner coders go with this new Newbies course. We're hoping that they'll really get excited by the world of programming. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the NCSS Challenge 2018.